you. I now give the floor to the minority leader and ranking member of the committee. And honorable members, because he has given me his words, I would have to take leave of you to go and preside over the house. So, please, Roxanne, just.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable nominee, first, I thank you for making time to answer questions as part of the process of your eventual appointment as a Minister of State. The engagement, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. The paper handed to me has the peace prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Fortified by this, I'm sure your faith will lead you to provide the necessary honest answers that will be required for the purpose of this engagement. My respected colleague, you rightly said that you and I have known each other for many years, rightly so. In my days as an entrepreneur at Trade Fair, where I was running my transport logistics business, you as a young man rented some of my trucks to do business. And we've had a very excellent relationship since then. I won't be the person to obstruct your career path. In the least, I should guide as your senior brother. Going through your CV, you are 85 born, I'm 78. I've seen a lot that you are yet to see. Now, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. My respected colleague, Honorable Abu Jinapo, had posed a question to you regarding views you had earlier expressed about the Chief Justice. One of it was to the effect that she was deliberately delaying a suit in court, which suit you and I notoriously know it to be the LGBT suit. Do you, with the benefit of St. Francis's prayer, which you have invoked, think that you were fair to my lady in the comment you made about her publicly? Which comment she's not had an opportunity to publicly rebut. Do you think you were fair?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, given the facts available to me at the time I made those comments, I believe that they were made in good faith at the time I made the comment.
The benefit of hindsight. And now that you know. And granted, I just want to be fair to you. The case had certain applications flying here and there. And there were parties to it, and the respondent defendant's lawyer had made certain applications to the court, which I'm sure you didn't know at the time, correct?
Mr. Chair, I knew.
Okay. If you did, then the various adjournments which were occasioned by the defendant's lawyers couldn't have been the cause of my lady, the Chief Justice, correct?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I disagree.
So, it is your case for public records that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, deliberately delayed the suit that was before the Supreme Court. It is your case.
Mr. Chairman, my argument had always been,
Honorable nominee, respectfully, is it your case that the LGBT case mounted by my respected friend Richard Delasky, barrister at law, etc., was deliberately delayed by the Chief Justice of the Republic? Is that your position? Yes, no?
Mr. Chairman, the description are your attributions, not mine. My words were that she had the power to move the case faster than it was being done. And subsequent actions after the demonstration that I led have actually proved my position to be true. That when the Chief Justice gives a timeline, everybody, respondent or plaintiff, Attorney General inclusive, must abide by it. When she invoked her powers, everybody complied. So my contention that she could have expedited it if she had given earlier timelines were proving right by her subsequent actions. Thank you.
Do you think that prior to your comment, she was not doing her job well? Is that your case?
Mr. Chairman, I thought she could have done better in the exercise of her public office.
Do you think that your commentary was fair to her?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that all public officers are subject to constructive criticism, and I consider my comments constructive criticism.
Honorable Sam George, the process of empaneling, the process a case travels involving parties cannot be at the instance of the Chief Justice of the Republic. Do you agree to that?
The rules of procedure dictate who is responsible for empaneling of judges in cases.
Do you have evidence that my lady, the Chief Justice, delayed in empaneling justices for the case?
Mr. Chairman, there was never a question about a delay in empaneling. There was a question about a delay in hearing.
What occasioned the delay in hearing?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that only the Chief Justice can explain to this House why, when she gave us a date of July 18th for ruling, when we appeared before her on the 18th of July, she chose to adjourn ruling on the matter indefinitely. I can't speak to her reasoning.
Were you a party in the case?
Not directly, sir.
Were you a party in the case? Were you a party in the suit?
Not on the record.
Had you filed as an interested party in the suit, Mr. Sam George?
Not on the record.
Was it fair?
Leader, you just...
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you have just answered to the question from the ranking that you were not a party of record in the matter under interrogation. And you also did not file as an amicus. But can you confirm whether the subject of the litigation affected you?
Very much so. I was one of 8 sponsors of the bill before the court.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairman, I would want to respectfully crave the indulgence of my colleagues to allow us to have a good understanding of what we are doing. Have a smooth inquisition that will help democracy. Very uninterrupted. So, you have answered to a follow-up question that you had an interest in the case.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yet you didn't deem it fit to get into the case through your lawyer or by yourself.
Mr. Chairman, I had absolute trust in the representation for Mr. Speaker, who was a plaintiff and who, in my opinion, represented the interest of the sponsors of the bill. Thank you.
You mean the defendant, because the Parliament was a defendant.
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Nominal defendant for that matter, because the principal defendant in the matter was the Attorney General. It being a constitutional matter.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
So I'm asking you that when you say we were given a date, what were you referring to?
I was referring to the defendants in the case.
Which defendant you were not part of on record?
Not on record.
So you agree with me that when there's you not being a defendant, and you not being a party in the suit, having criticized the Chief Justice in the manner you did was unfair to her office. You would agree with me?
Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, no.
Very well. When the Chief Justice who presided adjourned the suit sine die, indefinite, adjourned without a date, did you talk to the defendant's lawyers, that is the lawyers for Parliament, as to the reason?
Yes, I did, and they said no reason was given for that adjournment. The Chief Justice said she wanted to hear the substantive case before giving a judgment on the injunction case, because there were 2 cases before the court, the substantive case and the case for injunction. Now, the decision not to give a ruling on the injunction case basically and technically stayed the hand of Parliament indefinitely, because so long as there was no ruling, Parliament could not appeal, Parliament could not act. It held Parliament in abeyance for almost 5 months.
Is that what the lawyers told you? Because we would then need to subpoena the lawyers to take the oath, because you are anchoring your criticism of the learned Chief Justice of the Republic to something that is done. So I just want to know from you whether the lawyers told you. I'm not done.
Leader, can I, with respect?
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, please.
I have all the words.
Yeah. Okay, you can come in, please. Be
Chairman,
brief,
thank
please.
you. Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you just answered to a question that you made some comments after the court's adjournment.
Yes, please.
In the matter.
Yes,
by way of criticism.
Yes, please.
Can you confirm Let me, Chairman, please. Can we have some order around the table, Chairman?
Please go ahead. Let's have one meeting, please. Please go ahead.
Mr. Nominee, let me avert your mind to the constitutional provision contained in Article 21, one of the Constitution. Now, may I put it to you, and by way of a yes and no, that whether your right as encapsulated in Article 21(1), which is to this effect, all persons shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media, and B, freedom of thought, conscience, and belief, which shall include academic freedom. Can you confirm to this committee, yes or no, whether the exercise of that right to criticism was framed, anchored on this provision of the Constitution, which guarantees that freedom?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, leader, please continue.
Mr. Sam George,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
did you receive any information regarding the reasons for the adjournment sine from the lawyers for the second defendant parliament?
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't client to the lawyers, so they didn't need to give me any information.
Did the lawyers tell you that the inability of the court to make a pronouncement on the said dates affected the work of Parliament?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think it's in the place of the lawyers to determine what affects the work of Parliament. That's the role of Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
You had said that because of the decision of that day, Parliament could not proceed with its work, and that affected its work for some 5 months, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Did that information come from the lawyers to you?
Mr. Chairman, that information came to me from my reading of Article 106 of the Constitution, and with your leave, I would read.
Yes, please. Kindly take the leave of chair, not me.
Yes. Mr. Chair, do I have your permission? So I read Article 106(7) of the Constitution, and that's what I premised that submission on. Where a bill passed by Parliament is presented to the President for assent, he shall signify within 7 days after the presentation to the Speaker that he assents to the bill or that he refuses to assent to the bill, unless the bill has been referred by the President to the Council of State under Article 90 of this Constitution. Parliament was unable, in fact, there was a letter, a cease and desist letter, signed by then Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Asante Bediotwo, asking Parliament not to transmit the bill as passed by Parliament, premised on the fact that there was a pending court case. Even though I think it's important we take judicial notice that his letter to Parliament came a day before any lawsuit was filed before the courts. Thank you.
I am asking you, do you think that your attack on the Chief Justice of the Republic had any basis in the exercise of those your constitutional rights?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I did not attack the Chief Justice. I criticized her, and she's not above criticism. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, do you remember the words you used in criticizing the Chief Justice?
Mr. Chairman, I criticized her extensively. I can't remember all the words. Thank you.
Paraphrase in context your criticism of her, what you said. If
I'm
you
unable to repeat any of those here, Mr. Chairman, because the exigencies of time have overtaken it. If there is any specific reference you would like to make, I'm willing to respond to that. Thank you.
Did you write on your social media wall those criticisms? Did you write them?
I want to believe that I express my views on social media house. Yes.
We would give you an opportunity to refer to your social media wall and read aloud and in full those criticisms that you don't readily remember. So go to your social media wall, pick it, we'll give you time so that you can read it, then we can proceed.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know about the ranking member, but I'm extremely active on social media. In fact, one of the most active politicians in this country on social media. It will be an exercise for me to say that I am scrolling through the hundreds and thousands of posts to begin to scan and identify. If I had been given 4 notices of this, I could have gotten a team to do that. But I believe that if there's a particular case that is in question, I could be referred to it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, our proceedings allow a member time to rely on an important document. Therefore, if the member will need time to go through the particular post, we would give him the time. He should be able to furnish us with that. So, Chairman, with the greatest respect, let him have the time to make that available.
Mr. Chairman, if there is the need for evidence of that, I can subsequently provide that to the committee. I can print out my entire timeline history for the purposes of the committee, because I will not be able to tell what would be of interest to the questioner. So I'll print out my entire timeline for the committee subsequent to this engagement. Thank you.
Honorable Roxon. Honorable Roxon, you have the floor.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, social media has been defined in our statutes. How many social media platforms do you have? And which one particularly is in question? We know of Facebook, we know of Twitter, which is now X, we know of WhatsApp pages, we know of TikTok. So Chairman, it will be prudent and for the ranking member to be specific, because social media refers to a plethora of other.
Before I proceed, I want to suggest to you to kindly reiterate an earlier call by the chair of this committee, which call was to some of our colleagues who join us but are not members. I don't want to mention a name. I repeat, I don't want to mention a name. But I want to urge my colleagues who are joining us, you may say something not for the record, but when I hear, I would respond to you. Let us ensure decorum. This exercise requires mutual respect. Some of you are knowing some George for the first time. The minority is supposed to do its work. So if you are a first timer and you are here by the grace of God, take this opportunity and learn, and not to call your leader names. If you attempt to act in a manner unbecoming of a backbencher who has just joined parliament, you will be schooled to know the courtesies that are accorded leaders, especially when a leader is on a firm ground in his duties. Honorable nominee, my respected colleague, in your own words, you have had the occasion to criticize the Chief Justice of the Republic in a matter that you were not a party to, correct?
Correct.
In your own words, these criticisms were written on your social media platform, correct?
Not exclusively. Other times I spoke about them on national media platforms.
So for our purpose, let's deal with those that you wrote on your social media platforms, correct?
Very well, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Now, my question to you is, do you remember the exact words that you used in describing the Chief Justice in your criticism?
It will be difficult because, like the Majority Chief Whip had pointed out, I do not even know which specific platform you're referring to. I have accounts on Facebook, in fact, 2 accounts on Facebook, a private page and an official page. I have an X account, I've got an Instagram account, I've got a TikTok account, I've got a LinkedIn account. So it's, like, once again, I repeat that out, Mr. Chairman, I'll be grateful if specifics could be applied to the issue here. Thank you.
So my question to you is, which of the platforms did you use in your supposed constructive criticism of the Chief Justice in a matter that you were not a party to?
Please carry.
Yes. Chairman, with all due respect to ranking, we sat in law school classroom together. We graduated together. And we are both seasoned practitioners. And we've done criminal prosecution. And we understand the principles. He who alleges must prove. You are interrogating a nominee alleging certain matters. He has given answers. You may not like the answers. It is up to you to put into the further and better particulars. That when I refer to the fact that you made certain comments by way of criticism of the CJ, it was on a so and so and so social media platform. Here are the prints. In fact, in the course of this committee's work, you have demonstrated that those abilities, you brought information and material particulars before the committee and reference nominees to speak to them. Some you actually labeled them, exhibit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this matter, with all due respect to him, if he hasn't got information, he may still make progress. But if he wants to stay on this course, then you should be providing information by way of material particular so the honorable nominee can speak to by admitting to same or denying same, so we can make progress. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Leader, just give me a second. Well, I am presiding over this vetting, and you are talking about matters of law. I think as a presiding chair, I have the right to give space for some of my team members to be able to define matters of law, for me to be able to make an informed decision. And it is for that reason that I'm allowing Honorable Roxanne to come in, leader. And I hope that that is fine with you. Thank you. You may continue.
I don't have a problem at all. This exercise is good. Posterity will deal with this, and the jury is out there. Students, for many years to come, will refer to these proceedings. But since my respected colleague and classmate has taken us to the classroom, the classroom that we are, we have to do some exercise there. The issue that is being discussed has been attested to by the nominee. It isn't the case that he's denying knowledge of any criticism. He said he has done so. And he says he stands by it. It is on that basis that I am asking him. He should tell us the very thing that he is admitting to. He should tell us where he did it. He himself said some was by words of mouth on platforms. He said it in the media. Some too, he posted them. So he should be able to tell us in an honest way where he posted them. If, as it were, he had said that, oh, he doesn't remember ever saying it, he hasn't said anything at all, then I would ask him to identify a document and speak to it and find out whether he is the one who authored it. But he says he has done something. And I'm asking him to now tell us where he did it. It's as simple as that, Chairman. So he's supposed to answer that question.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, once again, I reiterate my answer that I'm unable to know which of the platforms I have posted on that he is referring to. And let me state for the records, what was put to me was the fact that I had attacked the Chief Justice. I have not admitted to attacking the Chief Justice. I have stated that I have criticized the Chief Justice. It doesn't amount to an attack on her. It's a critique of her. But I'll be grateful, and I'm willing to identify any documents that are available, and I'll speak to them with all integrity and honesty. Thank you.
You have your constitution with you.
Yes, please.
Earlier, the Honorable Roxanne spoke about your rights in the law, and you read the rights, that you had a right to freedom of speech, correct?
That's correct. The Honorable Roxanne read that.
Go to Article 41 of the same Constitution. Read the side note.
Duties of a citizen.
Repeat it.
Duties of a citizen.
What? I didn't hear.
Duties of a citizen.
Go to Article 41D. Read 41D aloud.
The exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations, and accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen to respect the rights, freedoms, and legitimate interest of others, and generally to refrain from doing acts detrimental to the welfare of other persons.
Very well. Very well. I shall, Chairman, with your leave. Chairman, with your leave, I shall, through you, forward to the nominee a document for him to read aloud. I have a series of them. Read number 9. Number 9.
SB 1 series.
Must we be prompting you? You get you. What is this? We have agreed to do so. Honorable, order, Chairman, honorable nominee, you have, I've turned to number 9. You've seen it labeled.
Yes, please, number 9.
Please read the content of that post of yours aloud.
There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the current Chief Justice is engaged in judicial thuggery and poses an existential threat to the dispensation of justice in an equitable, fair, and just manner. Such partisan behavior at the apex court of our judiciary must not be entertained and must be condemned with all the force reasonable people can muster. Judicial gangsterism is a precursor for the breakdown in the dispensation of justice and the doctrine of the rule of law. Common sense ought to be an ingredient in the dispensation of justice.
My respected colleague, what you have just read, read it at the risk of being repetitive. Read it one more time.
Mr. Chairman, I remember the content.
Read it one more time.
Well, I'm not going to read the heading again. I'll just read the 41D.
I am asking you a question, honorable nominee.
Yes.
Once the question is allowed, you cannot overrule it.
The
I'm saying
exercise-
read 41, yes, in full. Read 41D.
The exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations, and accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen to respect the rights, freedoms, and legitimate interests of others, and generally to refrain from doing acts detrimental to the welfare of other persons.
My respected colleague, what you have just read as your constitutional duty, and what you have also read as your constitutional rights, if you reconcile, would you say that all those words you used to describe the Chief Justice were fair?
Mr. Chairman, that post was premised on my understanding and reading of Article 296 of the Constitution, and I would proceed to read with your leave.
That's okay. Please proceed.
The side note is exercise of discretionary power. Where in this Constitution or in any other law discretionary power is vested in any person or authority, A, that discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. B, the exercise of the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased based on resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike, and shall be in accordance with due process of law. And C, where the person or authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provision of this Constitution or that aid or that other law to govern the exercise of the discretionary power. Discretionary power is vested with the Chief Justice. She exercised same in the matter before her. My views were what I expressed in the post.
When did you say you posted those comments?
27th of March 2024 at 6:34 a.m.
What occasioned this post?
Activities that had gone on the previous day in court.
Can you share with us the activities that had gone on in the previous day in court and in which matter?
It was in the anti-LGBTQ case, the case you referenced earlier on. I don't really remember all the details, but I'm fully aware that my comments were in reference to the actions that had happened the day before in court.
You had earlier said that your criticism was premised on a July 28th disappointment. Now you are referring to a March post. So which is which? Just reconcile.
Chairman, at no point in my previous answer did I say that my displeasure with the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice was exclusive to the July 18th ruling. The case had started in court from the 5th of March. I made reference to the fact that the July 18th ruling is what led me to lead a national demonstration against the Chief Justice.
So what exactly did the Chief Justice do to you on the 5th of July, of March 2024? 24, you said 23rd.
27th
So
of March.
This post was 27th of March. And you are saying that based on what happened in court on the 26th of March. And can you tell us exactly what happened on the 26th of March, which led to such description of the Chief Justice of the Republic?
Mr. Chairman, let me be clear that I have answered this already and stated that I don't really remember all the actions that happened there. But again, let me be very quick to add that post this social media post, the Chief Justice has had occasion to write to me on 2 occasions through the Judicial Secretary. The Chief Justice is clothed with the powers of contempt. If she thought and held the view that legally I had erred, the Supreme Court of Ghana is not one that has shied away from using its contempt powers. They have failed to hold me for contempt because I have not erred, and I'm sure that the Chief Justice herself and the Judicial Council and the Supreme Court recognize that constructive criticism is helpful for the dispensation of our justice system. Thank you.
So you hold a view that those words used in describing the Chief Justice of the Republic to you remain constructive and nothing less?
I hold that view, sir.
Clerk, kindly finish me the document. Honorable nominee, please let's go to your CV. Please, where were you born?
I was born in Somanya in the eastern region of Ghana.
I'm not familiar with Somanya. Is it in the eastern region of the country?
Mr. Chairman, I just stated that I was born in Somanya in the eastern region of Ghana.
Now, Krobo, Odumase, and Somanya, are they the same?
I am unable to respond accurately to that. I'm not sure about that. But I believe that one of the MPs from the Krobo area is present in the committee. He can help us with the geography.
Honorable nominee, respectfully, are you familiar with Krobo Odumase?
Yes, I know the constituency, the Lower Manya Krobo constituency and Upper Manya, yes.
I'm not talking about constituency. I'm talking about a town called Krobo Odumase. Odumase Krobo.
Yes, I know a town like that exists, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. And I'm asking you whether that town and Somanya are the same or different.
I am unable to answer. I told you I'm not very conversant with the geography of the area.
Did you live in Somanya where you were born?
Chairman, Before you came in, when I did the introductory part, I stated that I was born in Somania, but I grew up in Nigeria. My mother is here, my birth mother is here, and if you want her to swear the oath, she will, to testify on at what age she took me. But I was taken to Nigeria at the age of 6 months. At that age, I don't think I would have been in a position to know what my surroundings were. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, are you currently in possession of a birth certificate?
I don't have my birth certificate here, but I own one.
Is it a very old one or the digital birth certificate?
Mr. Chairman, it's a very old one. My parents have done very well to preserve it.
And that has your place of birth as Somania?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
You are in possession of a Ghanaian passport?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. 2, actually, but under the same name. A regular passport and a diplomatic passport, all under the name Samuel Nate George. Thank you.
The Ghanaian passport you have, does the place of birth bear Somania?
Both do, Mr. Chairman.
So you would disagree with anybody who would suggest that you were born in Odumasi Krobo? You would disagree?
My parents told me I was born in Somania. They are the best to determine and tell me where I was born. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, on your CV, you have indicated that you have undertaken a number of courses.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
But before then, you have indicated that you speak English, Ga, Dangbe, and Tree.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Do you speak any language of Nigerian origin?
Muso Yoruba, dear, sir.
You speak Yoruba?
Yes, I do, and a bit of Igbo. I can tell you my name, Ahambu Sam George.
Don't pay attention to my questions. Pay attention to my questions and then answer my questions. Not for the gallery, but for me. All right? Do you speak Yoruba?
Fairly.
You speak a bit of Igbo?
Yes, please.
To take the leave of Mr. Chair to amend your CV to include Yoruba.
With the leave of Mr. Chairman, if it pleases the committee for me to have to, but I just put the Ghanaian languages I spoke on my CV.
But it is here you stated languages spoken. Languages spoken. So I'm asking, since you say you speak Yoruba, that would you want to take the leave of Mr. Chair to amend to reflect that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, it can be amended with the leave of Mr. Chair.
Leave granted, amendment accordingly carried out.
Now, you have stated hometown to mean to be Old Ningo. We've had different descriptions of hometown. So tell you how you come by hometown.
I believe on my CV it says Ahiam, Old Ningo. And Ahiam is where my father hails from, where my father comes from. So that's where my father's house is.
And mom too from there?
My mom is from Old Ningo town itself.
Your CV page 1, you have indicated that you have a BSc Agricultural Engineering, Soil and Water Engineering specialization from KNUST. May I know from you, at KNUST, were you a member of TESCOM?
Never.
Did you at any point join TESCOM outside of at any of the institutions that you studied?
Never, Mr. Chairman.
So you disagree with any report to the effect that you were once upon a time a member of TESCOM?
That would be an unfortunate lie. I disagree with it.
The states, as part of our vetting, you know that we request for due diligence reports from state security. So, as at January 27, 2025, state security has it that you were once upon a time a member of TESCOM.
This is part of the reason why I'm on record to have said that the new Mahama administration has to overhaul our entire state security apparatus because it's woefully ineffective if it says I've ever been a member of TESCOM. Thank you.
Very well. And you would also disagree to the information given to us that you were not born in Odumasu Krobo. You disagree with them?
Absolutely.
Now, you have on page 2 of your CV. Let's go to page 2. You said you have executive masters in international strategy and diplomacy, London School of Economics and Political Science, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
You have the certificate with you?
Not here, but I can furnish the committee with it. If
Chairman, with your leave, would want to take that later, since he doesn't have it now.
No problem.
Certified true copy later, you can let us have it.
I would quickly make the request to the LSE for a certified true copy.
You have the certificate with you. You have graduated.
I
You
have the original certificate framed. You're asking for a certified true copy.
No, but you can certify it. You can get it certified. Any
I would choose to get it certified from the university that issued the certificate for the purposes of this committee. I'll make the request to the LSE.
This
for a
perhaps
certified
is a
true
legal
copy.
question, so it's all right if you understand it, sir. Well, for the benefit of your supporters, we are here to also help you. I know you've done LLB. I know you've done LLB. You've not been called to the bar yet. You don't need to write to your school to give us a certified copy. Once you are in possession of the original, a notary public who cites the original can certify. That is the law, which they should know. Now, would you be able to furnish us with a certified copy of that certificate?
If it pleases the committee, Mr. Chairman.
When did you start the program? And when did you finish the program?
September 2021, and I submitted my dissertation in July 2022.
How did you pursue the program?
In person.
Now, at all material times, you were a member of parliament. September 2021. You said when did you finish it in 2022?
In July 2022.
So between September 2021 and July 2022, you were a full-time member of parliament. And this school is in the United Kingdom. So share with us how you pursued the program.
Mr. Chairman, I believe that speaks to my dedication and diligence when I put my mind to something. I spent most
Honorable
times...
nominee, how did you pursue the program?
Mr. Chairman, that's where I'm going to respectfully.
I'm just saying that
Check.
to help you go straight so that we can finish with you on time.
Mr. Chairman, my program was an executive master's program, and I had multiple class periods and assignment periods. So in every month, we had 10 days of physical contact. And then you had essays that you had to present or submit in the ensuing period until the next class. And so again, if the committee would want for me to show evidence of my travel record, I will show how I spent 10 days in London with the leave of Mr. Speaker sometimes, and when I returned to Ghana to make sure that I stayed within the courses. And I had to do that between September and May. June, July, and August. June and July were not, you didn't need to be in person because that was when we were working on our dissertation. Thank you.
Okay, so you are telling us that, so from September, every month, you were spending 10 days in the United Kingdom, every month.
Give or take. Yes, please.
No, let's be specific, because you say we can check that from your travel records and all. I just want us to be very specific in the answers. So September, when you started in September you went to UK for 10 days and came back, correct?
Mr. Chairman, that's why I said give or take. There were times when, because of travel periods, and that was at that time, there were still COVID travel restrictions. So there were times when I had to spend 14 days. There were times when I was able to do 12 days because the regulations in the UK were very fluid at the time. For some times, at the early parts, you had to do a 2-day quarantine after entering the UK before you could make yourself available. So yes, I may have gone to school for 10 days, but my travel time included 2 days of quarantine when I entered the UK, so it could have been 12 days. So give or take, it was 10 days at every time.
So you were doing it month on month, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
So you can furnish us with evidence of September travel, October travel, November, December, all the way to May, as you said.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, with your leave, would the nominee has promised to furnish us. So
Leave is hereby granted.
very well. So, honorable nominee, we'll take that one.
I recognize a follow-up question from Honorable Roxanne.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Nominee, did you pursue this program with public funds?
Absolutely not. Fully funded by myself.
Now, this program, do you have an online component of it?
Yes, please. The submission of your essays and all of that.
No, please. My question was very specific. There is an in-person, so I want to find out whether there is an online component of the program. That's all.
Yes, there was an online component.
So in addition to traveling to London, you pursue some aspect of the coursework whilst here.
That's correct.
Chairman, that will be wrong.
Chairman, I'm taking note of the supposed follow-up which come in multiples, and they are indeed substantive. Mr. Roxanne has had his time, but anyway, I would tolerate him. It's fine. Okay, so when did you graduate?
I believe it was in December. I attended my graduation, I think, either in December 2022 or January 2023. I need to refresh my memory, but I think it was in December 2022. It's a matter of public
Okay, I'm
record.
sure when we get the certificate, we'll get to know. Now, you said that you fully funded yourself.
Yes, please.
How much did it cost you?
Mr. Chairman, are you asking me the cost of the course or the cost of the entire program? Because that
Okay,
would
I'll
include,
break it down. Don't worry.
That would include travel.
Don't worry. I'll break it down for you. First, let's deal with your tuition fee. How much did it cost you in tuition?
I would have to check with my accounts to determine how much it cost. This was a fee I paid about 4 years ago.
With the leave of chair, would want to have that.
Very
How
well.
much did it cost you in accommodation?
Again, I'll have to check with my residents at the time how much it cost me.
So with the leave of chair, you provide us with that. How much did it cost you in travel?
Again, the tickets vary based on season. So I'll have to
Okay, so
itemize each
don't worry.
ticket and how much it costs.
Okay, so chair would give direction on all three, so you can provide
Leave
that.
is hereby granted for you to bring the cost component.
But Mr. Chairman, respectfully, may I find out why personal expenditure of mine for my own personal development is now the subject of this committee's inquiry?
You should have said that as your answer.
No, Mr. Chairman, I was asked specific questions about whether I did them. Now, the question of providing same, I said I don't have that here, and it would take the leave of the chairman. So it's your leave that would make me, and I could get legal advice on if my personal expenditure is the subject of this committee. Thank you.
Well,
Chairman, as you've granted leave for those information to be provided, we'll rely on the nominee to make those available through the clerk. So we'll proceed. Thank you. Now, on the issue of Kofi Annan Training, International Peacekeeping and Training Center, it's on your CV that you have an executive master's in conflict, peace, and security, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Can you share with us how you undertook that program?
Mr. Chairman, that program was a weekend program as an executive master's at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, and I attended with a few other colleagues. Thank you.
How long did it take you?
It was a one-year program. I completed in 2019, but did not graduate in 2019 because I was out of the country on the date of the graduation. And so I came back in 2020 to join the executive cohort 6. I was part of executive cohort 5, but I joined executive cohort 6 in 2020 to graduate. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, back to your CV, you indicate that you've had a certificate in leadership and managerial skills from NDPI.
That's correct.
Are you able to furnish us with a certificate?
I will do so with the leave of the chair.
leave is accordingly granted.
Now, have you any registered company, a limited liability company, that you operate outside of your work as a parliamentarian?
I currently do not hold ownership of any company that I operate outside of Parliament.
Prior to this period, were you previously an owner of a limited liability company?
Yes, prior to coming into Parliament, yes, I was.
Can you furnish us with the name of this company?
The first company I think I registered was Events and Multimedia Ghana Limited.
When did you register this company?
Chairman, I don't readily remember.
What is the name of this company?
For emphasis, I will repeat it, Events and Multimedia Ghana Limited.
Who are the other shareholders apart from you?
I don't readily remember, and the company is defunct at the moment.
At what point did this company become defunct?
Upon my entry into Parliament, I stopped working.
When you were operating your company, were you taking only private jobs or you were also doing government jobs?
I never took a government job.
Go through your CV, share with us where on your CV you have provided information of this, your company.
Mr. Chairman, it's not provided on my CV.
With the leave of
Let's honorable leader, let's get this clear. Is it everything about the nominee that is supposed to be provided on a curriculum vitae? Because this is a defunct company which is no longer operating.
Chairman, respectfully, the nominee has provided us his own CV. The CV, he talks about personal data. He moves from there to profile. He has shared with us his educational background. He goes further to talk about professional experience. He has taken us through conferences he has attended. He has also told us that he is a member of certain boards and agencies. It is therefore proper, as part of the inquisition, to ask which boards he served on, where he's been a director. It is a regular question. And he himself has provided us information as to a company he has registered that he is a shareholder and a director. The issue of it being defunct is a different matter. So, honorable nominee, you have said that at the time you entered Parliament, you stopped running your business, correct?
That's correct, because I became politically exposed.
Very well. So, before entering Parliament, tell us, between which period to which period you operated your business? Tell us, between which period to which period you operated your business, that your company?
Mr. Chairman, I believe I registered this company whilst I was in the university, sometime between 2003 and 2004. I left the university in 2005. And I believe that I stopped running I stopped getting any businesses after I was appointed communication specialist at the president in 2014. Because at the time, the clientele I had required that they couldn't work with me as a PEP. Thank you.
But you just told this committee that you only stopped operating your business when you were elected member of Parliament, because at that time you had become politically exposed. Do you still stand by that answer?
Yes, Chairman. You see, the nature of business I had long-term contracts. So even though I became a PEP in 2014, I had contracts that ran till sometime in 2016, and it was indicated to me that those contracts will not be renewed.
Now, share with us the period you became a member of Parliament. You were not doing any other business. You were solely dependent on your salary, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as my primary source of income.
Did you have the benefit of any secondary source of income?
Mr. Chairman, I'm married to a very industrious woman.
I don't get it. Please explain.
I'm married to an industrious woman.
Okay, so please explain to her, if you say you are married to an industrious woman, and that is the source of your secondary income, what exactly do you mean?
I mean, my wife takes care of me.
Very well. So, industrious woman, she takes care of you. Are you suggesting that she also paid your school fees for your UK program?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that this committee has asked me to furnish them records of my fees that were paid. I believe that I don't see where we're going with this. Thank you.
No, with the greatest respect, honorable nominee, I continue to treat you with respect. If you say you don't see, yours is to answer. If you need guidance, please seek guidance from the chair. If chair allows my question, and you want to say you don't see where I follow up based on what you say. I never asked you about your wife. I never asked you about her business. You said your wife takes care of you. These are your words. You say your wife is an industrious woman. These are your words. And that is your secondary source of income. These are your words. So, are you aware whether your wife, through her industry, has been paying her taxes? Have you become aware of it?
Mr. Chairman, those are my wife's
Please,
affairs.
please. That is personal to your wife. So, with all due respect,
The money, the monies that your wife, your wife gives you, which monies you say that is your secondary source of income, do you pay taxes on them?
Mr. Chairman, I have at no point in time before this committee, and I'm on record, said that my wife gives me money. I have at no point in time made that claim. My claim before this committee is that my wife takes care of me. I didn't say she gives me money. Thank you.
Is that your secondary source of income?
I have not said so. Your words, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, would leave it there. Whether they are your words or my words, we'll leave it there. Let us proceed. How did you raise the funds to pay your fees? Because this is a matter of record that you provided.
Mr. Chairman, I had savings. Thank you.
Doing Honorable nominee,
Yes, Mr.
please,
Chair.
please kindly read aloud that document you have in your possession.
Dear comrades, take positions at the airport and land borders. None of those who have raped our nation's resources should be allowed to skip town. Those who have stolen the public purse must, in capital letters, be made to account for every pursuer. Operation Recover All Loot, in bracket, oral, must swing into full action. For our children, for our nation, let's go. And it has the lion emoji and the Ghana flag and the fire emoji.
Can you share with us those looters, the names of those looters you were referring to, who you were calling on comrades to protect our borders so that they don't escape? Can you share with us those you had in mind at the time you made this post?
All of that information, Mr. Chairman, has been shared with the oral team that was headed by my comrade Okujeto Ablakwa, Member of Parliament for North Tongue. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, this is a public hearing. You have made this post, and I'm relying on it to ask you the question. I'm asking you, these individuals that you say they have looted the nation, they have raped us of whatever, can you share with us those individuals? Give us their names.
Honourable Member, with all due respect, we spoke yesterday about the Whistleblowers Act, and there are remedies available for such a thing under a Whistleblowers Act. So in a full public view, asking that the names of those people be disclosed, there are dire consequences for it. I will therefore humbly overrule the question. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, at the time you made this post, did you know about the consequences of the post you were making?
Mr. Chairman, there was only one consequence of my post: to protect our nation's resources. Thank you.
As a law student, do you think that this call for people to go to our borders when we had our security agencies already performing constitutional duties was right?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, and I'm grounded in the preamble to the Constitution. That was the basis for that call.
The preamble of the Constitution.
We, the people of Ghana, or in the name of the Almighty God, we, the people of Ghana, in exercise of our natural and inalienable rights to establish a framework of government which shall secure for ourselves and posterity the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity, and prosperity, in a spirit of friendship and peace with all peoples of the world, and in solemn declaration and affirmation of our commitments to freedom, justice, probity, and accountability, the principles that all powers of government spring from the sovereign will of the people, the principle of universal adult suffrage, the rule of law, the protection and preservation of fundamental human rights and freedoms, unity, and stability for our nation, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution.
So, at the time you made this post, you are saying to this committee that our borders were not being protected by the security agencies enough. Therefore, there was a need for you to make a call on ordinary citizens to rush, particularly your party members, to rush to these borders to stop people you consider as looters from traveling outside the country, correct?
Your deduction, Mr. Chairman, not mine.
At the time you made this call,
Honorable Leader,
did you have...
I recognize
oh,
Roxanne Dafon
did you have
on one
reason?
supplementary question.
Okay, sure.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable Sam George,
Chairman.
when you made the post under reference, yes or no, you averted your mind to Article 41, F of the Constitution, and with the leave of the chairman, let me read. The exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations, and accordingly, it shall be the duty of every citizen, F, to protect and preserve public property and expose and combat misuse and waste of public funds and property. So your post regarding people getting to the borders and checking others from absconding from the jurisdiction you suspect of having committed some offense, you were exercising your right under this provision.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Sam George, when was the last time you traveled outside the country?
I don't readily recall, but I haven't traveled this year, so sometime last year.
At the time you got to the airport, did you go through immigration screening?
Yes, I did.
Did you see customs officials at our borders at the airport?
Yes, I did.
Did you find the national security operatives at various points at the airport?
I don't know. I don't know them because they don't wear uniform.
But do we have security systems at our airport?
I would suppose so, but I can't state on the record.
Now, at the time you made this your post, by the way, go back to the date you made the post.
I made it on the 8th of December 2024, a day after John Mahama had won the elections by almost over 57% of the votes.
Had
Please,
our...
order.
On that said date, had you any information that our immigration and customs officials had abandoned their posts at the airport and all other borders of the state?
I have not suggested so in my post.
Honorable Sam George, I am asking you a straightforward question. Had you any reason to believe that they had abandoned their posts at the airport and all other borders that they had a duty to protect as officers of the state?
Chairman, once again, I repeat that I have not made such a suggestion in my post, so it can't be attributed to me. Thank you.
Do you know that your call on your party members to move to our borders was to undermine these security officials from exercising their rightful duties enshrined in our laws?
Mr. Chairman, that would be to suggest that our constitution is illegal and unconstitutional.
So are you suggesting that at any point a citizen can post calling on people to take to our land borders and protect it against looters? Is that what you're saying?
Mr. Chairman, like I said, that post was made pursuant to provisions of a duty of a citizen, given the exigencies of the time, the duties of a citizen, according to the preamble and Article 41F of the Constitution.
Do you know that that preamble of the Constitution is equally enforceable through a law properly enacted by the state? Do you know that?
I'm aware of that.
And do you know that as part of the enforcement of the constitutional provision, we have established state security agencies to protect our borders.
Fully aware of that, Mr. Chairman. I'm fully aware of that, Mr. Chairman.
And do you know that as a citizen, your right call would have been to the security agencies instead of party members you call comrades? Do you know that?
Mr. Chairman, it is the vigilance of these comrades that stopped the export of 17 pallets of gold that were not properly labeled at the Kotoka International Airport. My call was a call to national duty. It was heeded and saved the public purse. I should be celebrated for that.
Sam George, respectfully, I, based on your information, will be pleased to make an application, would make an application to the chair to suspend the hearing of your vetting so that we invite those officials at the airport who, according to you, through the vigilance of your comrades, they seized some illegal exportation of some gold. So, because this is a very serious matter, and you are providing us information. So, Chairman, in the circumstance, it is important that we suspend the hearing of this matter to bring those officials who have a mandate to protect our borders, ensure legal exports, explain to why they abandoned their responsibility, and it had to take some vigilante comrades based on his call to arrest some illegal gold exportation.
Honourable members, with all due respect to the ranking and the deputy, the ranking and then the minority leader, we have a clear mandate and no amount of question and answer will be worthy to deserve this committee proceeding to suspend sitting until information is provided. Our procedure doesn't end at this committee. Further actions will be taken after the committee's vetting. So I am unable to grant the request for suspension with all due respect.
Chairman, fair enough. Chairman, then, with your leave, I would want to extract some further information from the nominee so that we invite those officials to appear before us so that, I agree with you that we don't suspend, but we would have to invite them based on the further information we'll give. Honorable nominee, this gold that was being stolen, can you provide us further details of where and how these comrades were able to assist in stopping this stealing? Lay the foundation with the answer and then we go specifics because it's very important. The nation is listening and it will help.
So is your question seeking for him to mention names of people?
Honorable Chair, I am exercising a lot of restraint and I would plead with you. The nominee said there was stealing at the airport. Some people were stealing gold and exporting. And through his call, there was an arrest. We need to know the details. It cannot be that he will say something and then we cannot have details. So he should provide us the details.
Did you say some people were stealing at the airport?
Mr. Chairman, the sitting of this committee is public records. I never said that anybody was stealing. I said that my call led to the interception of 17 wrongly labeled pallets of gold or parcels of gold. That's what I said. Again, let me state for the record that it is the assumption of the ranking member that the persons who may be lawful law enforcement officers can also not double as comrades. That will be his assumption. Because the assumption is to say that comrades from outside the airport came in. I have not said so as well. Thank you.
Honourable members, I will plead that having regard to the content of the Whistleblowers Act, some questions and the answers being provided may be in violation of some provisions in the Whistleblowers Act. It is for a stated reason. That's why we refer to that particular law, Whistleblowers Act. So I am not even happy that it is being placed on record that some responsibilities being discharged led to the arrest of some pallets of gold. So I intend to direct that that answer be expunged from the record.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, can the nominee tell us where this gold was wrongly labeled? Can the nominee tell us?
I'm guided by Mr. Chairman and the Whistleblowers Act. I decline to comment. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can the nominee tell us who arrested these gold bars that, according to him, were being stolen?
Again, with the guidance of the chairman and respect for the Whistleblowers Act passed by this honorable House, I decline comment.
Chairman, with respect, the nominee is not here as a whistleblower. If for some reasons it is his pleasure that he would give us that information in conclave without the media, he should say so and we should grant that. You cannot, Chairman, you cannot come to the committee in providing answers to a question, say that it is your constitutional right to make a call to the public to protect our borders when we have security agencies, and then you justify by saying that, in fact, that call has saved the nation. Some stealing, I mean, people were going to steal gold. The state, as a result of that call, that was prevented. Then you are now saying that you come under Whistleblowers Act, so you cannot provide the details. Chairman, let us, the whole world is watching these proceedings. I will not pursue and I will not attempt to show any disrespect to you. But Chairman, the matter in issue is not a matter of whistleblower. In the minimum, I am guided by the little law I've studied. I'm not going into the arena of whistleblower. So if you would want to say that he shouldn't answer a matter that he himself has provided, so be it. I will not pursue it. But I want to put on record that if the nominee prefers to give that information to us in conclave, let us pursue that.
Well, Honorable Minority Leader, we can subsequently explore and look at the law by the nature of the information that we are soliciting. If the law allows the information to be given to us as members of parliament, why not?
Chairman, let's have a clear understanding. Dominique is telling us that based on a social media post, some people were stealing gold and his comrades responding to that post were able to arrest it. So if for nothing at all, he should be celebrated. He's saying that he should be celebrated for making that post. Chairman, is it the case that we cannot pursue it? If you say so, I will not begrudge you. The record will reflect that the chair of the committee says that we cannot pursue it. This is not a whistleblower matter. So I want to pursue it. If you want to rule me out, I'm fine. So, honorable nominee, my question to you, that those people that you claim were exporting this gold illegally, do you know which company they were working for at the airport or wherever? Do you know where they were working for? Which company they were working for?
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, we are pushing further. The nominee even said that his call resulted into some arrests. He's making reference to his call. So if you want to push further to give details of it, then it means we are delving into what the law otherwise says we shouldn't. So, with all due respect, with all due respect, there are reasons why you give such information to the security agencies. They are not even prepared to mention your name to the public that they got the information from you. So we cannot be soliciting that particular information. The statement he made is that my call resulted into this. I think we should end it there.
Chairman, my duty is to respect your chair and to accept your ruling. So I would accept your ruling on this matter and move on. I will not attempt to disrespect you, however unhappy I may be with your ruling. Well, that's the beauty of democracy. You are the chair. Thank you so much, sir. Please, clerk to committee. Honorable Sam George, you have a document in your hand. Respectfully, I've labeled this as 6. First of all, the document, the paper you have, were you the one who authored it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Please, can you read it aloud in full?
Galamsey is Ghana's drug trade. It is to Ghana what cocaine is to Colombia. There are cartels involved. These cartels have politicians, chiefs, and security personnel involved. Our government is complicit and will not do anything about it. And then I tag then President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, bears ultimate responsibility. He has the power to arrest and deal decisively with everyone involved. I don't care what party they belong to. They are wicked criminals. Deal with them. But alas, Nana Addo cannot. He is complicit and a beneficiary. If we want to deal with this canker, we need to be honest and brutally frank with the truth. Again, the lion emoji and the Ghana flag, and then 2 hashtags. Hashtag free the citizens, hashtag stop Galamsey now, and I attached a picture of a Galamsey site. Thank you.
What date did you make this post?
The document handed over to me has no date.
But you made this post.
Oh yes, I recognize it as my post.
Now, you said the former president was complicit and a beneficiary. At the time you made this post, you had evidence that the President of the Republic was complicit and indeed a beneficiary of this Galamsey activity?
Mr. Chairman, on the day the President, and even though there's no date on this, I remember this post very well. I made it because I was upset as a citizen of this country that on the day the President was meeting, the then President, was meeting with the coalition against Galamsey, one of whom I believe is in the room, Engineer Ken Ashigbe, his Minerals Commission was issuing tens of new licenses to mine in forest reserves. That's what pushed me to do this.
Honorable Sam George, my simple question to you. Do you think that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our president,
Honorable members, order. Order.
I can understand the enthusiasm. Our president, who was in charge of the government of the day between 2017 and 2025, January 6th, was indeed a beneficiary of the Galamsey activity. Do you solemnly believe in that? That indeed he was a beneficiary of this?
Chairman, my understanding is that the president at the time was leader of the NPP, per your constitution. He was leader of the party. We all saw or listened to the recording between the then Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and the then Vice Chairman of your Central Region Party, where he said you needed to do Galamsey because party he had sika. The party that he had sika or needed money was the NPP, and President Akufo-Addo was leader of the NPP. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and has his kids in a row behind it like a duck, it is a duck.
Because on two people were gossiping on the phone.
Honorable Sam George. Honorable Sam George. So you are saying that this comment by some individuals that you heard is your evidence that the President of the Republic was a beneficiary of the Galamsey activity?
Mr. Chairman, if I'm not mistaken, the president subsequently went to even campaign for the gentleman who made those comments to be as a parliamentary candidate of the NPP. He associated with him. He did not distance himself from it. And Mr. Chairman, let me plead with you. This committee should not be used to whitewash the image of President Akufo-Addo. We know him. The people of this country passed a verdict, and let's leave it at that. Thank you.
Honorable nominee. Order. 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 Honorable members, order. Honorable members, let's have order. Honorable members, order. 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 Honorable nominee. Honorable nominee. You are hereby ordered to withdraw the word. This committee should not be used to whitewash Akufo-Addo. Please withdraw.
Chairman, respectfully, with the greatest respect for you, why am I being asked to withdraw that this committee, it's a plea.
Please.
I'm making a plea to you.
Please withdraw. Please withdraw.
Mr. Chairman, I withdraw out of respect for you.
Thank you very much. The statement is withdrawn. Let's make progress. The statement is withdrawn on grounds that it is unparliamentary. Honourable members, let's make progress.
Chairman, thank you.
Please, let's have order.
Honorable nominee,
Yes, Chairman.
my respected member, who I would consistently refer to as Honorable Member of Parliament. Please, I'm done with the aspect of where you say Nana Akufo-Addo was a beneficiary. Now let me go to the aspect where you say he's complicit. Do you maintain that part of your submission, that post, that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was complicit, as you put it out there in your post? Do you maintain that?
Mr. Chairman, the first paragraph says our government is complicit. Our government is complicit and will not do anything about it. Nana Addo bears ultimate responsibility. He has the power to arrest and deal decisively with everyone involved. I don't care what party they belong to, they are wicked criminals. Deal with them. But alas, Nana Addo cannot. He is complicit and a beneficiary. If we want to deal with this canker, we need to be honest and brutally frank with the truth.
So I'm saying that, I've read it. This job, I've been doing it for some 15 years and more. So I know where I'm getting to. I'm done with the other leg of you saying he's a beneficiary. So back to the complicit part. I'm asking you whether you maintain that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our former president, was indeed complicit. Do you maintain that?
Given the poor fight against Galamsey, I hold that view.
Get you, please.
Given the abysmal fight against Galamsey, I hold that view.
To what extent do you hold that view that his performance in the Galamsey fight was abysmal?
The president promised to put his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey. There were several instances where persons in the president's government and party were found or accused of being involved in the illegal mining of gold in our country, in forest reserves and water bodies. The president did not show the leadership that he promised this country. He folded, and that's the record. It can't be changed. So as far as I'm concerned, he was complicit.
Do you have any evidence of probative value to the effect that these people that you claim were part of government and were mining were at the presidency?
Mr. Chairman, the government is bigger than the presidency. The government extends even to the ruling party. That's why the ruling party's general secretary and national chairman sit in cabinet. So the party is part of government. And the ministries are part of government. Agencies are part of government. So if persons in agencies and persons in the party, ruling party, are involved in this, the government is complicit. It stands to hold. Thank you.
Okay, so what you are suggesting to us today is that now that President John Dramani Mahama is the President of the Republic, any individual at the party level, say constituency officer in Owen, involved in a Galamsey activity, citizens of this country should loudly say that to the extent that that person is a member of the ruling party, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, respectfully, should be held complicit. Correct?
I haven't said so. If President Mahama puts his presidency on the line to fight corruption, and is unable to take action in the unforeseeable instance where an appointee of his, there is evidence of corruption, and he rather seeks to clear them like we've seen in the past, then you can hold President Mahama liable. But the President Mahama I know, and his track record that is before this country, we've seen the Judas scandal. We've seen previous scandals. He ran a sunlight campaign on corruption. So I know that if what you are suggesting is not what I've said, but President Akufo-Addo put his presidency on the line. He raised the bar. He raised the standard. And so we hold him to that standard. Thank you.
Now, should any agency, now that President John Mahama is in office, you are again suggesting that should any agency involved in anti-Galamsey activity falter in any way, it would amount to the president himself being complicit, correct?
Not correct, Mr. Chairman. I gave a specific example. President Mahama has been definite on corruption because corruption is the biggest problem.
Talking about anti-Galamsey.
President
we are talking
Mahama,
about Galamsey, so
yes.
let's stay there.
No, Mr. Chairman, because of the question you asked, President Mahama...
Honorable nominee.
Honorable nominee, the question is specific, making specific reference to Galamsey. It's not asking you any question in relation to corruption. So if you can stay within the question and provide your answers briefly, you will do us a very good service.
Yes, I asked you the question. Or you want me
Honorable Chair, please, if the question could be repeated.
My question to you. Now we have President John Dramani Mahama in office. Should any agency involved in anti-Galamsey activity fail, should we say that the President of the Republic is complicit?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Pardon?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so you are suggesting that in this current administration, any failure on the part of any agency in the fight against Galamsey should not be held against the president, correct?
He has responsibilities. He will fulfill his responsibilities.
Yes, I know. No, as for that one, we all expect government to fulfill their responsibilities. But my question is, should there be any failing at any agency? Should there be any failing in any agency? Will the president be complicit?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, this is now assumptions. We're building scenarios. I can't speak indefinite to conjecture and scenarios. If we get to that point, I'm sure today we are speaking about this because there is hindsight on President Akufo-Addo's leadership. I believe that we'll have the opportunity 4 years down the line to judge President Mahama, but it will be unfair for me to pass judgment on a man who is barely 3 weeks in office. Thank you.
Please, Chair, with your leave, may our clerk and the clerk to the committee have this and take back the earlier yes, please. Yes, please. Are you in possession of the 7? I've
please.
labeled it 7, please.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman. Exhibit 7.
Kindly identify it. Is it a post you made, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it's a post I made.
Honorable members of parliament who are visiting us, order. I'm not taking chairman's powers. Order. This is an exercise that students will learn something from. Yes, so, honorable nominee, please read it aloud.
As a son of Gandangwe,
Yes.
I am outraged and disgusted at the continued abuse of state power and authority and the wanton encroachment and capture of Ghana lands. The latest attempt to steal lands belonging to GIS by agents purporting to be from the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo is shameful and sad. I am yet to hear a condemnation from the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapor. He is responsible for the sector, and his children attend the affected school. It is also time for the Galamsey and the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs to man up and speak. Their silence is cowardice and a blot on the integrity of the Ghana state. They either speak up or we consider them willing accomplices. The next John Dramani Mahama government from 2025 must recover all such stolen lands and prosecute the perpetrators irrespective of their political colors. Enough is enough. Followed by a lion emoji, an angry face emoji, and Ghana, the Ghana flag. Thank you.
Honorable nominee.
Chairman.
We'll do some little exercise on this post.
Yes, Chairman.
Respectfully, at the time you made this post, did you have reason to believe that the government officials were taking over GIS lands? Did you have reason to believe same to be true?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Can you share with us the grounds upon which this was founded?
Mr. Chairman, I listened to the news that day, and there was the news reported that a team of armed officers purporting to have come from the office of the president had accompanied a private real estate developer to take portions of the land belonging to GIS in the cantonment area. Thank you.
Did you take steps to verify this information prior to the post? Did you verify?
Mr. Chairman, I had no reason to doubt the credibility of the media houses on which I heard the story.
Which media houses did you hear the story?
Mr. Chairman, it was reported, I believe, by City. It was reported by Joy. These are two of the most credible media houses in the country.
And what was the report?
That officers or security personnel purported to be coming from the office of the president had accompanied a real estate developer to take over portions of GIS land.
So you've used the word purported, which means that there was no evidence of state-sponsored takeover of GIS land. You've used purported to suggest that, indeed, there was no such evidence that the government was aiding a private developer to take over portions of GIS land, correct?
The evidence I based on was a news reportage.
Would you want to retract this post?
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I will read a Ghana Web story that speaks to this particular issue.
Honorable nominee, the question is, would you want to retract?
No.
Or you still
No,
then you're
Mr.
answering
Chairman.
the question. Nobody asked you to go and read anything from Ghana Web.
Honorable nominee, with the leave of chair, I will let you read. Honorable nominee, please kindly read. First of all, identify the document. Is it a document you posted?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Respectfully, can you read the post aloud and in extenso?
Mr. Chairman, the post was in reference to what you've printed to me, you've printed for me, is my post and a post from the immediate past Minister for Communications. So which should I read? I should read both?
Read yours. Read yours first.
I should read mine first.
Yes, please.
Respectfully, Chairman, mine is a response to her post. It will make better understanding if you get the context in which my response came.
So please read all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Lausu posted on 26th April 2021, some people find it very difficult to believe we can negotiate good deals for government. I signed the Airtel Tigo contract. We acquired it for just $1. Someone, an MP, says he heard me say we paid $25 million. A barefaced lie, blatant untruth. Please, ask Sam George where he heard that. Then sit back and listen to long English, grammar and drama. Just keep your eyes on the ball. How much did we pay to acquire the company? $1. Simple. Then my response on the same day. Someone tell our Minister for Communications that grand posturing and arrogant clapbacks will not stop us on the Parliamentary Committee of Communications and the good people of Ghana from demanding accountability from her. What does she take us for? That she bought Airtel Tigo for $1? How much is the eyebrow pencil she uses to draw her eyebrow? And she thinks she can insult our intelligence? Madam, after basking in the fake funds of your social media followers, prepare to appear before the committee and give us details of the transactions. We would not allow the already burdened taxpayer of our country to be saddled with poorly thought out decisions that impose more debt or hardship on us. Our eyes are fixed on the ball, and I urge you to do same. No long talk.
Do you maintain the content of this post and the language you used in describing Honorable Eslo-Owusu?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Chair.
Send Hello, order. Honorable Afriye, order.
Please proceed.
Dated 19th November 2024. Clearly, the Supreme Court, led by the Chief Justice, will do everything in their power to protect their demigod, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, from signing the Family Values Bill. The CJ should be ashamed of herself. After preaching against such vices in ICGC and failing to walk her talk and take a stance when it matters most, such characters are the ones our Lord Jesus Christ chased out of the temple with a whip. From President Akufo-Addo to all members of the pro-LGBTQI cabal in all arms of government, shame on you. Bow your heads in disdain. Our children and grandchildren will remember you for all the wrong reasons. The lion emoji and the Ghana flag. And then there's a picture of the scales of justice along with it. Thank you.
No, not. Right, Honorable Sam George.
Mr. Chairman,
On what date did you make this post?
19th of November, 2024, Chairman.
At the time you made this post, the court had already given a date for judgment in this matter, correct?
Mr. Chairman, if my memory serves me right, I made this post on the day that the courts decided that they would give judgment after the elections on December 7th, that they will give judgment on the 18th. And that's what premised me saying they will go to any length to protect President Akufo-Addo from signing the bill.
Honorable Sam George, respectfully, the Supreme Court is an independent constitutional body. Do you believe in that?
On the face of the paper, it ought to be.
The Supreme Court of Ghana, through its actions, determinations of matters, is practically independent of the executive. Do you believe in that?
Based on the doctrine of separation of powers, yes.
At the time you made this post, what was your basis for saying that the Supreme Court sees Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as its demigod? What informed that?
I reached this conclusion on the basis that the Supreme Court had the power to hear this matter and give judgment before the elections, but chose to do so after the elections. And that's what brought me to this conclusion.
So, you mean all the judges who were on the panel had one thing in mind: to protect Akufo-Addo, merely because they gave a date which is after the election. Is that your point?
Mr. Chairman, I have not made reference to all the judges of the court. I referenced the Chief Justice. And she had the power to fix the date. She was president of the panel, so she determined the date.
Are you aware that the Chief Justice was not a member of the panel at the time you made this post? Are you aware?
Mr. Chairman, that is not correct.
Honorable Sam George, would you be surprised? Okay, so if you come to the conclusion, or if I bring you evidence that the Chief Justice was not a member of the panel on the said date that you wrote this your post, would you retract this?
Mr. Chairman, I will be a man of integrity and retract this if there is evidence, which I know doesn't exist, that the Chief Justice was not part of the panel, because she had been on the panel as far back as July. And this was done on the 19th of November. She had always been a part of the panel. But if there is evidence that shows that she wasn't part of it, I'll do the honorable thing.
Honorable Sam George,
The chairman.
at the time you made this your post, had you really done your checks to know who and who constituted the panel?
Mr. Chairman, as far as I was aware, and like I said, even on the 18th of July, as far back as the 18th of July,
We are on the, wait. I want us to,
Honorable, with all due respect, when you ask a question and the nominee is providing the answer, let's allow the nominee to land with the answer, then you can follow up with another question.
thank you, Chairman. Please, I am on the 19th November post. That 19th November post, was it after the court hearing or it was the very day the court gave a date for its judgment?
Mr. Chairman, I don't really recall.
Were you in court yourself?
No, Mr. Chairman.
But you became aware that on the said date, the court had given a date, 18th December, for its final ruling on the matter.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it was reported in the news.
Based on the news reportage, you attacked the Chief Justice, correct? Because of your belief that the Chief Justice was a president of the panel, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Now, did you become aware? Did you become? Roxanne,
Let me ask
Chairman,
I want to ask a follow-up question.
Chairman,
I want to ask a follow-up question.
Chairman,
Honorable Leader, I want a follow-up question.
let me take a deep breath. Let me take a deep breath.
Honorable nominee, did you attack the Chief Justice?
No. Like I've stated constantly before this committee, I have criticized her constructively. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, please, the document you have before you, please read it one more time. Let's deal with some aspect of it again.
Clearly, the Supreme Court, led by the Chief Justice, will do everything in their power to protect their demigod, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, from signing the Family Values Bill. The CJ should be ashamed of herself after preaching against such vices in ICGC and failing to walk her talk and take a stand when it matters most. Such characters are the ones our Lord Jesus Christ chased out of the temple with a whip. From President Akufo-Addo to all members of the pro-LGBTQI cabal in all arms of government, shame on you. Bow your heads in disdain. Our children and grandchildren will remember you for all the wrong reasons.
Would you want to retract this post?
No, Mr. Chairman.
If you become aware that Her Ladyship Lovelace Johnson was the president of the panel and that the Chief Justice was not a member of the panel in any way, would you retract the post?
Mr. Chairman, I'm fully aware that when I read the judgment, Her Lady Justice Lovelace Johnson was the lead of the panel. That doesn't take away the powers of the Chief Justice in ensuring the speedy dispensation and discharge of justice.
When you read the judgment, did you see the Chief Justice's name as being part of the panel?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So, in your view, the fact that the court had given 18th December dates amounted to they being in collision with the President of the Republic at the time, correct?
Honorable Leader, I recognize Roxanne Nelson Dafamakpo on supplementary.
No, but Chairman.
You come back to your question.
Chairman, with respect, I have asked my question. Let him answer. I have all the patience for these proceedings. If my respected friend, who had his turn, and I never interfered with this supplementary, is now taking advantage to say that he is now doing follow-up, so be it. You are the chair. And
Proceed to answer the question, then I will allow his follow-up.
Can he please repeat the question?
All members, order. Honorable Leader, once the nominee is requesting you to repeat your question, and the question is going to be repeated for an answer, let me take the supplementary question on the earlier answer, then I will come to you to repeat the question.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you, about 2 hours ago, when the leader, the minority leader, took you on this path, you told the committee that you made this statement and others at the time when the motion or notice for interlocutory injunction was heard by the Supreme Court. That panel presided by Her Ladyship, the CJ, but ruling deferred by the court to the final determination of the matter. That was your answer. Do you still stand by it?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
To place the matters in context.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now, Chairman, let me seize the opportunity to ask Rankin.
Honorable,
how long has it to go?
Honorable, you are entitled to one follow-up question.
Thank you very much.
Please, you've asked your follow-up question.
Honorable nominee, you had earlier on indicated that should you come to the realization that the Chief Justice was not part of the final judgment in the matter in issue, you will pull down or retract the post you made on the 19th of November. Do you maintain that?
Mr. Chairman, can I, in answering this question, read the second paragraph of my post? The CJ should be ashamed of herself after preaching against such vices in ICGC and failing to walk her talk and take a stand when it matters most. Context. She had heard the injunction case, deferred ruling because she wanted to get the benefit of understanding the substantive case. When that time came, she walked away from it. I am a man of deep faith. My faith will never waver when it comes to my principles on homosexuality as a Christian. She passed the buck when she had to take a stance when it mattered most. And that's why I continue to say, such characters are the ones our Lord Jesus Christ chased out of a temple with a whip. So it's context. Thank you.
let's stay on context. Do you know that our faith, as we exercise it, and the law do not operate on the same level? Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
So it would be unfair to attack a judge in a matter of law merely because of the faith she professes.
Mr. Chairman, I did not attack. I criticized. Thank you.
Would you agree with me that it would be unfair to criticize a judge sitting in a court of law for exercising her discretion in law merely because of her faith?
If that judge is also a lay preacher, I would expect that her judgment will be influenced by her calling and by her faith.
Very well. Let me, Chairman, let me take him to the next thing. Hello?
So I'm a judge. Then my
Honorable nominee, I have given hello, honorable nominee,
Yes, Chairman.
I have given you a document, a paper. Please allow to the end. I've written something there on top with a pen.
Chairman, with the greatest of respect, this document is not one authored by me. It is Act 1, Scene 1 from Macbeth.
That is correct. That is correct.
I don't know if it is within my place to request from the chairman the relevance of reading Macbeth as a Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations.
Honorable Leader, once the document is not emanating from the nominee, accordingly, he's not supposed to answer any question based on it.
Chairman, with respect. Chairman, with respect. Chairman, with respect.
Honorable Leader, you know the position of the law, that if you are not the author of a document, you are not responsible for the content of the document, and as such, you cannot be asked to answer questions based on a document of which you are not the author.
Chairman, I have not asked him a question. Perhaps the lawyers on this table may assist me. I can make mistakes, and I'm ready to learn. We are allowed to lay a foundation. Around this table, we've laid foundation with constitutional documents, with media publications. In fact, we laid a foundation at the commencement of my questions with St. Francis of Assisi prayer. He read it out. He read it, he has it right here. So a document that is being read to lay a foundation to mount a question is allowed. I don't know why you are saying-
Honorable leader, minority leader, honorable my learned friend, we all know the rules of the game. You haven't asked any question, but you asked the nominee to take a look at a document. And the answer from the nominee is to the effect that I am not the author of the document you are asking me to take a look at.
Okay, so no, Chairman, the proper form. Chairman, like I said, we will continue to learn. Honorable nominee, please, you have an extract from Macbeth before you, correct?
That's correct.
Please read the relevant provisions there as in your hand.
I do not know, Mr. Chairman, what is relevant. This is about 29
You
lines.
see, honorable nominee, hold it. For us to know the relevance of what you are asking him to read, you need to ask a question. Since he is saying that he didn't utter what you are asking him to read. So why would you be asking him a further question when he expressly told you that the document you are giving me, I am not the author? He is not the author. So my learned friend, with all due respect, once the answer from the nominee is that you give me a document, but I am not the author of the document, it's about telling you I don't know anything about this document. I beg you, with all due respect. I am therefore unable to allow him to answer a question based on the document that you have given him.
Chairman, I have asked him to read the content of what I've given him. I've not asked him a question yet, but like I said, if you are overruling my request for him to read the content to enable me as the relevant questions, if you're overruling me, I will abide by your ruling. I don't need to stretch it. I will abide by your ruling. Because I need to lay a foundation. I know he's not the author. That is why I referred to it, to enable me mount the question. But if you hold a view that I cannot even rely on it to ask my question, that is fair enough. I will respect your ruling. I will not challenge you.
That is my ruling accordingly.
Very well.
Bring the document back.
Mr. Chairman, can I please crave your indulgence to make just a statement? I just want to use this opportunity to apologize to my chiefs who have been sitting here since 7 a.m. based on the notice. Neneme, nyame, ipanyepe, chapi miningepe, munyuna ngimbi, majenya, nyachumka. Thank you.
Chairman, with respect, the nominee has made certain public statements. I need to ask him certain questions based on those statements he's made on TV and all. I, with your leave, made them available to the clerk, to the committee. So we shall proceed to watch the videos, and then would ask the questions one after the other on it. The clerk to the committee was provided with it, and we did this arrangement before the hearing. So please, set the technology in place for us to watch the video. Thank you.
He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right, okay.
He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right, okay.
He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right, okay.
Honorable nominee, you described the Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia as a religious prostitute. Do you stand by what you said at the time? Do you stand by it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
On what basis do you describe Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as a religious prostitute?
Mr. Chairman, I think I was in the spirit when I made those comments because they were prophetic. He never became president because I said someone who carried out his faith in that manner will never become president, and he didn't become president. So I believe that I was under the unction of the Holy Spirit at the time. But the basis for that was that then Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia sought to tell us that he was a member of the Boys Brigade. The method is Boys Brigade.
Please, you've answered the question that you were in the spirit. Order.
Honorable nominee,
Mr. Chairman.
had you heard exactly what the Vice President had said in respect of his relationship with the Boys Brigade as a child? Had you heard exactly what he said, the basis upon which you made this statement?
Mr. Chairman, you know, the ranking member is a Catholic. He's an Orthodox. I'm a charismatic. There are things of the Spirit that he may not understand. And so it may be impossible for me to explain when the Spirit takes over you and you speak and work under the unction, how to explain it. Thank you.
Honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
They don't understand the spirit. Catholics.
I have heard you. Are you therefore saying that led by the Holy Spirit,
Honorable member, can you do as the honorable thing by retracting the aspect of you saying you are charismatic, he's a Catholic? So it's of a different faith.
If it pleases the chairman, but I thought these were issues of fact. But if it pleases the chairman,
Please.
If it pleases the chairman, I withdraw.
Please, statement withdrawn. Let's make progress.
please, the technology controller, next video.
The reset of Ghana. A vote for John Mahama is a vote to protect our culture, to protect our family values. A vote for Bawumia and Napo is a vote for homosexuality, is a vote for comprehensive sexuality education, and Ghanaians say no to Trumu Trumu, no to Trumu Trumu, no to Trumu Trumu. We need John Dramani Mahama to come and sign the bill into law. Ayazu, if you love the children of Ghana, if you love our family values, if you love your faith as a Christian, if you love your faith as a Muslim, if you love your faith, even as a traditionalist, you know that we do not support homosexuality. Napo must account and go to the Pope.
Yes, honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman,
Did you have any basis to say that the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, as he then was seeking to be the president of Ghana to promote homosexuality?
Mr. Chairman, I said a vote for them will be a vote for that.
Do you, in your present circumstance, still maintain that statement you made?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Had you any reason to believe that Dr. Bawumia was seeking office to promote homosexuality as you described?
Mr. Chairman, in the tape, I don't make reference to only Dr. Bawumia. I make reference to his running mate, Matthew Opoku Prempeh, as well. And there's basis for that.
So you had reason to say that Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh was seeking for the high office of Vice President of the Republic to promote homosexuality?
I was speaking to his track record, Mr. Chairman.
What is his track record?
Mr. Chairman, as Minister for Education, he oversaw the attempted introduction of comprehensive sexuality education into our country and proceeded to a meeting, a UNESCO meeting of African ministers of education, where he gleefully spoke about the benefits of introducing sexuality education into African curricula. That video is available. We can pull it up and make it available to the committee.
Honorable nominee, you said he presided over an attempted introduction of homosexuality.
Of comprehensive sexuality education. That's what I said, Mr.
Is
Chairman.
there a difference between comprehensive sexuality education and homosexuality? Is there a difference or they are the same?
One is an educational material that teaches on homosexuality. Homosexuality, on the other hand, is an act.
So you are saying that he presided over an attempt?
Thanks to the traditional rulers of our country and the moral religious authorities who rose up in righteous indignation. But for them, he would have succeeded.
Honorable nominee, I am suggesting to you that what you are saying in respect of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, then as Education Minister, is inaccurate. I'm suggesting that to you.
The facts available to me prove the other.
Please, next video.
People say that, I've been saying to a few friends that people say that politicians steal from the public purse. The Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia government did not steal from the public purse. They stole the purse. I've been saying to a few friends that people say that politicians steal from the public purse. The Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia government did not steal from the public purse. They stole the purse.
No problem. Hello, honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
You have just watched the video. Would you want to explain what you mean by Nana Akufo-Addo did not steal from the public purse, but they actually stole the purse? Would you explain what you meant by that? And after that, let the public know whether you still stand by that statement or you seek to retract.
Mr. Chairman, before I answer, may I seek leave of you to know how many minutes I have to answer this question? Because I have a litany of over 700 corruption scandals under President Akufo-Addo that I will list systematically and explain each one to show Ghanaians how President Akufo-Addo and his government stole the public purse.
Honorable nominee, the question is, do you stand by it or not?
The question was twofold. So, do I stand by it? Yes. Why did I say it? That's what I'm asking for. How many minutes or hours you give to me to run through 700 corruption scandals under President Akufo-Addo?
Chairman, if the nominee so pleases with his evidence against Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and he wants to proceed, it is within his right to proceed. Proceed. That's fine. Proceed.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, looking at the time, I'm unable to allow the witness or the nominee to be proceeding with over 700 evidence that he is having. So instead, I will urge upon the nominee to make it available for the committee.
Chairman, in view of your earlier ruling, I will be happy to receive all that evidence so that as a house and as part of the proceedings, upon receipt, those individuals who were involved in those corrupt practices will then appear before us for us to interrogate the issues, because this is an important matter. So there's no problem at all. We will be happy to receive that. Next video, please.
How many minutes would it take you to state it? Stating it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not just going to state, I'm going to explain. So I'll need about 4.5 hours.
I'm asking you to state. I'm not asking you to give explanation. Can
Chairman,
you state it?
Mr. Chairman, just stating it and not explaining it will not do justice to me. So then, if you won't allow me time to explain them for the Ghanaian people to understand, then there's no need me starting.
Man, I think that he needs 4.5 hours. If it will mean we should come back again tomorrow to continue the exercise, fine. If he has them here, no problem. No, we are here. If he wants to, if he needs to, he thinks that he has to proceed the 4.5 hours to complete it. Whatever way, I leave it to chairman. I leave it to chairman to judge.
Please, let's make progress.
Please, next video. Chairman has ruled that he should submit. That's the ruling of the chair. That he should submit the 700 cases of corruption against those individuals so that we deal with it.
But, honourable members, ranking. We've been here for close to 3 hours on your questions alone. Do you have any more further questions?
Chairman,
And how long will you go? How many more questions do you have?
Chairman, we have the video series. Please, let's do the third one.
Chairman,
On each video-
honorable leader, you promised the committee that though you have unlimited questions to ask, you'll be very fair and reasonable. But today, you've asked a question for close to 3 hours.
Okay, Chairman, we started the day with Honorable Rashid Purple. I waived my right to ask him any question. I didn't ask any question. We took a second nominee, Honorable Mutala Mohammed. I didn't ask him any question.
But at all material time,
No. Can I?
there was somebody
Chairman,
acting
Chairman.
for you.
Let's take the next video, please. Next video.
A misconception has been put out, and you know that's a misconception has been put out, and I listened to that full BBC interview. President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from Sam George until he signs that bill, and he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill. It's in that bill.
Honorable nominee, the president, in a meeting with the clergy, suggested to the clergy that instead of passing a law, it will perhaps help if we rather introduce in our curriculum the teachings of our values in our schools for our kids to appreciate the Ghanaian value system. Do you support that proposition by the president?
Mr. Chairman, this is an incorrect representation of what President Mahama said.
Please, what is the correct representation? Would you want to quote correctly if you hold a view that what I've said is incorrect?
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, can I reciprocate by asking the clerks to send the document I have here, which is a transcript of what President Mahama said, to the ranking member so he can read for the hearing of the public.
Honorable nominee, you don't have such right. Once
guided,
you are
Mr.
pulling
Chairman.
out the document, it is incumbent upon you to read it or you put it back.
I'm guided, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to read the full text of what President Mahama said. Proper human sexual, and then there was laughter. It's quite a long name. Proper family values bill. If you remember, there was a court case that injuncted the speaker from forwarding it to the president and also restrained the president from receiving the bill. Eventually, that case was disposed of in December I think on the 18th or something. Yes. So it meant that the injunction had been cleared, but as far as I know, the bill did not get to the president for assent. So the convention is that all bills that are accented to, that are not accented to, before the expiration of the life of Parliament expires. And so that bill, effectively, is dead. It has expired. I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I do think that we should have a conversation on it again, so that all of us, if we decide to move that bill forward, move it forward with a consensus, emphasis mind. And probably, it shouldn't be a private member's bill. It probably should be a government bill, with a government behind it, after consultation with all the stakeholders, to see how we know where to move this forward. But it leads us back to the discussion we had had. If we were teaching our values in school, we wouldn't need to pass a bill to enforce, our family values. And that is why I think more than even the family values bill is us agreeing on a curriculum that inculcates these values into our children as they are now growing up, so that we don't need to legislate it. And so we will see how all this goes. So I'm looking forward to this review conference to come to some consensus on some of these issues. Clearly, President Mahama is in support of the bill, but is advising a more holistic view. Apart from passing the legislation, also the reintroduction of our family values into the curriculum of our children. That cannot be a wrong advice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. President said he does not know which part the proponent of the bill would want to have. Tell us which part you, as a proponent of the bill, would want to have.
Mr. Chairman, I answered this question earlier, but because he wasn't around, I will repeat again. My chiefs who authorized me and the people of Ningo Prampram who authorized me to start the sponsorship of the bill still hold the view that the bill is necessary. I will engage with His Excellency the President on the path and the way forward. Either as a private member's bill, where the Attorney General will not delay the bill but in 1 year, for 1 year in Parliament by not giving us an opinion, and then, or it will come in as a government bill that will all support and pass, like the Speaker has said, urgently. Thank you.
Now, what will be your reaction should there be an attempt to dilute the current state of the bill as you forcefully proposed for legislation?
Mr. Chairman, the ranking member is my senior in the House, and he knows that we have the process of amendments to introduce whatever opinions and views I hold
Honorable
into a bill.
As we speak right now, there is no bill before the House. That bill has expired.
Mr. Chair, we go to the next video. Technology, we go to the next video.
From 110 polling stations, out of 140, at the end of the election at Okankwe Central Constituency, Patrick Yabuama had 14,949. Two. 332. Rejected ballot is 130. Total vote cast.
is the hazard of the job. You take it in all its rights. Is that the reason why, without evidence, you accused the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, of being a beneficiary of Galamsey?
Honorable Leader, this question has been asked and answered. Proceed to ask another question.
Honorable nominee, it will require you to have hard evidence at your disposal.
I'm not aware.
So it is your view that to accuse a public officer of being a beneficiary of corruption, there is no need for evidence at the disposal of you, the individual who is accusing the public officer?
Mr. Chairman, no greater evidence of the corruption in the last administration is needed beyond the results of the last elections. Thank you.
Honorable Leader, please, your last question.
Chairman, at this juncture, let me, with utmost respect to you, protest on the following grounds. One, that you are aware that we have some set of questions, which questions will be mounted on video evidence, which video evidence you and I are aware that the clerk to the committee has explained to us that they are having some technical hitches, which technical hitches they are rectifying. Two, I have indicated to you that I have gotten
By the Senior Divisional Chief, Nenge Banahini Asimeta.